How's it going, guys? So a few days ago we got an announcement saying that we will be getting an update on the 9th of December. Also yesterday we got an announcement on Twitter saying that we will be getting Indigo in the next banner. And then today we got Kirara. And so I think it's pretty fair to say that we will be getting the Carnelian banner coming on the 9th of December. And hence, as usual, it's time for a should you pull video, where, as tradition, I will give you a short answer that you shouldn't pull this banner, and then I'll give you a long answer going through the operators and tell you why you shouldn't pull this banner. Oh, spoiler alert, you shouldn't pull this banner. Yep. So, let's get into our operator analysis. So, first of all, we're going to get 3 operators in this banner, as usual. First, Indigo, which is pretty much 4-star version of Iris. Kirara, which is pretty much Manticore, but remove the stalling, add a bit more damage capability in there. And then Carnelian, which is, as you guys can tell, Beeswax's sister, and they pretty much do the same thing. So, a pretty good attack area, decent attack value, but don't do any damage when their skills aren't activated. But comparing to Beeswax, Carnelian is actually more damage focused, and that actually shows in their talents. So if you guys remember, Beeswax's talent is that when she doesn't have her skill activated, she will regenerate 4% of her max HP per second. And Carnelian's first talent is that when she activates her skill, she will immediately recover 40% of her max HP. So in general, Beeswax will recover more HP over time. Carnelian's first talent also has a second effect, where that if she charges her skill the second time, she will have double the effect, so it recovers 80% of her max HP immediately. So here's the special thing about Carnelian, is that all of her skills can be charged twice. The first time is basic, and then the second charge will actually be shorter due to her second talent, where once she has her skill charged once, her SP recovery will increase by 0.6 per second. So 1 SP per second to 1.6 SP per second. And during that time, obviously you can decide like, okay, I want to activate the skill now, or I want to wait for the second charge to get that extra little bit of buff. So every single skill has like some extra effect when you charge it twice. And because of the increased charging speed, you can actually charge the second charge way faster than the first charge. And when you charge it twice, the first talent HP recovery will become 80% rather than 40%. Yeah. So here goes her skills. Her first skill is actually rather boring. So it's pretty much increased attack up to 60% and increased defense up to 100%. The initial SP will go up to 5 out of 18. So the max SP on like the required charging time doesn't change as skill mastery go up in all 3 of her skills. So that is pretty much the first skill. The second charge will actually allow her to be more tanky. So it keeps the trait of letting her having increased 200% defense and 20 resistance, which is their trait, still active during the skill, which is, you know, just keeping her tanky while dealing some damage. It's quite the boring skill. And then we have skill 2, which I will show in CE5. So as you can see here, I have skill 2 activated. So skill 2 actually greatly reduces her attack interval. So usually she has 2 seconds attack interval, and at M3, skill 2 it can actually decrease her attack interval by 1.1 seconds. So actually attack interval goes down to just 0.9 seconds, which is really impressive. And her skill 2 also will stop, let's say slow the enemy for 0.3 seconds every hit. So as you can see here, the slow is activating. But a reminder is that this actually doesn't change as skill mastery level goes up. So no matter how like M3 skill level 7, it's always 0.3 seconds of slowing. When you go to M3 though, and I mean, when you go to the second charge of the skill, that slow will actually turn into bind, and Carnelian will actually get up to 20% of extra attack, and the bind will go up to 0.6%. She will also have up to 10 initial SP out of the 25 needed. So as you can see, I'm only getting 0.4 seconds of bind. At M3, that will turn into 0.6%. So in general, this skill will have roughly about 25k total damage to enemies during her skill, during the entire 25 seconds duration, which I would say is pretty decent. But obviously, if you want to rely her as your only DPS, she's not as feasible, I would say. Something like this. You can see, obviously, the bind is very significant if you know, stack them up. Also, you can combine this skill with Arc skill 3 because Carnelian is really tanky. She can definitely tank Arc skill 3. And with that increased attack speed, you can actually use Carnelian plus Arc to do pretty much permanent bind during her skill 2. And Arc skill 3, but Arc skill 3 only lasts for 20 seconds, while Carnelian skill 2 lasts for 25 seconds. So it's not really permanent. It's just really good bind, but it's more of a toy, if you ask me. Now, let's check skill 3. Skill 3 is actually even more damage focused. As I said, skill 2 already gives up to 25k total damage, but skill 3 actually deals way more damage if used correctly. So, as you can see, Carnelian skill 3 actually has increased attack area, which is very good. Also, she will have gradually increasing attack. That is actually the downside of this skill. So, I think we all experienced Calcet skill 3, where the skill damage will gradually decrease. But that's true damage, and monster already has really high base damage anyway, so it didn't really bother us at all. But with Carnelian's skill 3, because the skill lasts 21 seconds and her attack interval is actually 2 seconds, she actually won't get the benefit of the last, like the highest damage. That is a huge downside. And in order to cover that, you actually need to have Arc's skill 3 to cover that, which is a huge downside in my opinion. Also, that increased attack will go up to 280%. So the fact that my Carnelian can already reach up to 2.7k attack at M1 and level 55, it can actually go higher. I think it goes to like up to 3000. You actually actively want that, you know, that bit of last damage, extra damage at the end of the skill. And once you charge her skill twice, she will actually apply a debuff to all enemies hit, and every stack of debuff will actually increase the damage they take from Carnelian by 20%. So if you hit them for 5 times, she will have double the damage, which is very significant if you ask me. So as you can see here, Carnelian's damage is actually going way up to almost 2800 at only M1 level 55 and not max trust as well. Very great skill if you ask me. But the thing is, she doesn't do anything when her skill isn't activated. So, you know, in normal situations where we are in nowadays, you don't really want to use this skill, because even though the combined damage can be good, the damage DPS is quite low, especially lower than AF Fella's skill 3 Volcano. The DPS is a bit too low, and when she doesn't have her skill activated, as you can see, she's not dealing any damage, which is a huge downside. So in general, I just wouldn't recommend you pulling for any 3 of these characters, especially Carnelian. What you should think of Carnelian is she is kind of like an AFL Volcano replacement-ish. She has less reach, less DPS, and less total damage for the entire duration of the skill, and doesn't deal damage when her skill isn't activated. That's the 3 big downsides of her, in my opinion. And to be honest, nowadays I don't even use Volcano anymore. And so why would I need a Volcano replacement when I don't even use Volcano? Does that make sense? I think I'm making a lot of sense. And that is the biggest reason why I would never recommend anyone to pull Carnelian. And here we'll have to go into a tiny bit of a spoiler, because 2nd anniversary is going to hit us very soon. And from my prediction, we're going to be getting Summer Chen. So the new summer event, limited operator, Summer Chen. And Summer Chen is going to completely destroy like the game in terms of damage. She's going to be so OP. And that gives you even less reason to get Carnelian. The only benefit of her that I have seen, so one case where Carnelian really shines, is in one daily CC map. Not one map of the daily CC. No, one day of that said map where the tag will actually decrease all ally attack by 50%. And in that situation, no physical damage can actually do damage to one of the enemies. And hence you actually want arch damage. But if you want to do arch damage, Carnelian is actually a way better choice because she can cover a huge area and her skill cooldown is way shorter. It's like roughly 45 seconds if you want to fully charge her skill 2, which is way short. 45 seconds compared to the 80 seconds that you have to charge for Volcano. And I think you see why that I would choose Carnelian, because of her flexibility. Not in terms of total damage, but flexibility. Volcano is still better in terms of pure strength. So, that's it for this video. If you find this video any helpful, give me a like and probably give me a subscribe, because I lost like a lot of subscribers due to CC and I really don't want to post any CC videos, since personally I don't really enjoy CC as much anymore. So a subscribe would be very thankful. Soon I will actually release a video talking about upcoming events, especially talking about the schedule up to Summer Chen, up to the 2nd anniversary, because I've been seeing some, guesses out there and I have a different opinion. So I'll probably release that very soon as well. Before then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!